my good loving friends. This is Pumpkin Rapper here, and welcome to the what if them. Get out of here, Pumpkin Rapper. No one likes your rapper stuff. Sorry about that, guys. He tries to steal my thunder. So now he's out of the way. So now let's move on to the what if segment called "What If Deku Was Shell Rapper." So it's a fusion of a pumpkin rapper from the intro that beginning. Yeah. So it's this guy. Yeah. Pumpkin rapper mixed with shell shock. So, yeah. Let's rock and roll. So, yeah. And he has the same powers as the pumpkin rapper and shell shock. So, yeah. But, yeah. So let's begin. Without any further ado. So, and it's Zuko, so basically, yeah. So, let's begin. And I'm also adding zooming into this, what if. So, Inko and Sashi had a girl named Zumi. Basically, but they wanted a son. But they were like, you know what, we'll deal with our daughter instead. So then, but they didn't know the doctor that did give, or basically copied their DNA thing. Because in this alternate universe, there's always these monsters that are weird. Like some of them, here. Let me show you what I mean by that. Oh, whoopsies. Power Rangers monsters. So, like, all the past monsters that were from every movie, you know what I mean? Was attacking or on daily basis thing. And so the Pro Heroes comes in and does their thing, destroys the monsters, but they keep coming back over and over and over again. So what do? So the government decides we need our own monster. So they took the Shell Shock's DNA, and because the Shell Shock was in, yeah. So, and Pumpkin Rapper, then in order to, so they created a beam, a light, and they actually destroyed both of them. And so they basically fused it with Zuko's DNA. Or the Inko and the Sashi's DNA. With inside of a chamber. As a monster forms. With an upside-down jack-o'-lantern head, Shell Shock's bodies, parts, and But the knees on the wait, where is it? On the what became like his knee pads thing. So yeah. And they all have the same thing. They're like, woo, as a monster, Zuko. Or actually, he has some human inside of him, too. Because of Zuko's, because of Inko and the Sashi's DNA. He has more human sense than the most monsters are like, I'm going to destroy this city. You see the shell wrapper was like, I'm not going to let you destroy this city. He monster, bam, bam, yeah. So they release it he knew what to do. He's like, you want me to kill all those monsters for you? I'll happily do it. As he uses go beam, red beam, yellow beam, every single one of them. All the monsters were obliterated. And then because in this alternate timeline, I mean, in order to permanently kill the monster of the, like, stuff like Shell Shock and Pumpkin Wrapper, or every other monster, you have to use a different monster to, like, kill it. It permanently dies. As the Zuko is killing all of the monsters, as all the monsters are flying, as they're all, like, dying, they all drop dead. As Zuko was pretty tough, as he uses the pumpkin wrappers and plus, because it's a fused form of pumpkin wrapper and the shell shock, he can remove his own pumpkin head and uses it as a bowling ball, throwing it round. And he could use, like, plus when he does that, he can also turn his entire, when he pulls his head out, or he pulls out a cannon and he starts shooting at every monster. Yeah. All the monsters were wiped out. 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3. Even with baseball bats. There was only one left. And guess who it was? Let's go to, because they're all permanently dead. And I forgot to mention, when I say all the monsters from Power Rangers, I mean all of them, including the cut ones. And that were, I forget who it was. It was when I said cut characters. Let me see. trying to figure it out. Like, there's one that is pretty tough. Hold on. So, like, from yokai thing or whatever. So, that were, sorry about this. I am trying to find it, but it's hard for me to find it. But yeah. I'll just use, or actually, it was actually two characters, actually. The squid arm guy, this one, and the number 2 was a literal made out of, it's her. So, yeah. So, both of them were like, you have to face against us, traitor. Well, as Shell Rapper says, compared to you guys, I was born in the lab, so I'm not any of ya, but I have DNA. So then, as he dodges her attacks, and the long arms when I say long arms, this guy's attacks, as he says, you think you're gonna get away? Oh, you have it all wrong, boy. As he starts rapping, I think you're gonna, as he kicks the side, you're gonna be, this is how we roll. Oh, it's time for me to use a go beam. As he can't stop himself. As he's trying to run around and like doing everything. And so her says, what are you doing? I can't stop myself. I can't stop myself because you just need to you just need to stop yourself. As he uses a red beam on her and froze her in place. As he says, ooh, well, bam! As he punches right through. Plus, yeah. So he destroys her and yeah. And he also destroys him by just, well, bam! Breaks right through. Yeah, so he just killed all of the monsters without any, like, yeah. But there was one lonely monster. And she's the one that you do not want to, who she actually was the same age. And no, I am not. Or she was created, or no, she was born as a monster. But she loved other monsters to, like, to death. But she never, like, truly found one that's perfect match for her. And yeah. So when I say that, it's there's a lot of, like, female, like, Power Ranger female things that were cut from, not really cut from the segment thing, but yeah. And guess who it was? It was, or actually, let's say there's two, or no, three, two, three. One of those. So there's three. Lipstick girl, here, if you guys don't know what, it's her. This one, that's one. The same episode as the purse one, that's number 2. No. And number 3 is actually the one from the cut character. Little Miss Cell Phone. But 3 of them were the only ones were left from the monsters. Because all 3 of them were like, because they could not believe. Yeah, they could not believe that they are the only ones left from the slaughter of the heme. So what do? They turn into humans to live among the humans. Like, it's basically Among Us. But there's only 3 imposters. So, he basically, at this point, because Shell Rapper was a newborn, he doesn't know how to transform into a human. Or he doesn't know how to control his humans. So he's just, as they know that he's just stuck as a monster. Ooh, I'm a big man. I'm just kidding. So then, yeah. So, as he, like, and because the lights were flickering, ring, and the guy, him, or let's say a young girl was trying to get her ball, and as he sees the armored truck was about to run her over, as he uses the red beam to stops the car completely, froze it in place as he walks over, as he says, no need to cry. As he picks her up, walks her over back to the, as he walks, as he picks up the car, grabs the ball thing with two of his fingers because he doesn't want to pop it. As he, here you go. Now, as he opens the armored truck, and grabs the two villains they stole the armored truck. Yeah. As he sure has a tendency to, as everyone sees him as not a monster, but they see him as a pro hero. And that's actually his name. They actually gave him the secret identity of Zuko Midoriya. So, yeah. As I just imagine him walking, like shell shock, but with pumpkin wrappers, his arms going up and down. As he saves the city, as he even used the beams, yeah. So villains were like, okay, now as they're about to destroy the entire UA, but Shell Shock walks over her and uses a beam of light right at and the nuke stops in midair. And it didn't go off. It disarms it. Now we just need to, as he uses the tendrils from, because his body can produce his own tendrils, he grabs the nuke out of thin air as he pulls it into him there. As he pulls it down, as a bomb squad walks over and opens the lid, and Zuko, is a big monster, but let's say they forgot the tools to open it, but they didn't forget to grab the tools for disarming. But Zuko just says, okay, as he opens it up with his thumbnail. I said thumbnail, like in thumb. Picks it up. There we go. So then they all walk over as he, basically, they disarm the bombs and kaboom. Or actually, disarmed the bombs, and yeah, as he, yeah, so then there was no more monsters left, uh, but except for those three women. But because she, when they, not she, basically, when I'm trying to say a girl, like three girls, who, lipstick, purse, and a cell phone, turns into, like, when they went back to, or when they were humans, or they turned into humans, they ended up spending all their time trying to plan to get their revenge thing. But since before, or no, after they were trying to plan to kill the pumpkin wrapper, or no, the shell wrapper, should I say, and that's actually his project name is shell wrapper, is a basically, but his real name is that they gave him is Zuko Midoriya. So basically, Zuko was in control. Oh, and yeah, so he's immune to pumpkins. He's immune to like, I don't know what shell shock is immune to. Because I do know that they put more than just a couple of monsters as immunities inside. But they also didn't take in the account of one thing. That one thing that's in is that Zuko was born with a power of infinity and zero. So he was born different from the normal monster. And yeah, and that's not a like song from a radio station or TV. That's just a alarm. So if you heard that, so yeah. So just to remind you, so now, so the time skip to 15. So not Inko. Zumi gets one for all, and she does have a quirk called Control Flames quirk. And yeah, and then she ends up going to UA. And she does have, or when she was, 14, she actually did meet those monsters, the three females, those before. But she didn't know those three monsters, or three of her friends were actually monsters. So then with stuff like that, Zuko, who is class 1A, because, So basically, yeah, they basically. So when let's sort of time skip to All Might versus All for One. Let's see how long this video took, and yeah, but I'll make it into 40 or 50. That's what my original plan was, to make it into a movie so that I can't and just make part two. So basically, yeah, this is a movie, full movie. So yeah, if you guys don't like full movies, go check out the someone video. I'm not gonna hold it against you. So yeah. So yeah. So let's continue. So a time skip to All for One versus All Might, and All Might was down, but yeah, and not out. But Zuko, sorry, or when All for One says, "Huh, there's only three monsters remains." And you know them as cell phone monster, lipstick monster, and the purse monster. So, but they are hiding among you guys. So then Zuko, so then those monsters could not believe that their identities or their, because they came up with names for themselves, and they are trying to hide underneath a radar and all that stuff. Well, only person that did know that who they were before they became humans was Zuko. So yeah. So then So basically all three of the women identities were disposed to the public, and so so now they're getting tracked down. But before that, it's we're still in the present of All for One versus All Might. So All Might is still down and not out yet. All for One's about to use his power, but the shell wrapper just grabs or created a rope, like a vine, like grapevines, and it hooked around All for One's waist or around his arms, around, as he says, "Oh, I am not doing any pumpkin wrapping, okay?" So I know that because it will probably sound like I'm doing the copyright things, but this is what he sounds. He sounds like a mix between Shell Shock, huh? I'll do like Shell Shock's voice. This is Shell Shock, and it's time to roll. Or something like that. Mixed with, "You Rangers made me mad with a rap that bad." And so it was a mix between those two. So he's more of a he's kind of like what my voice sounds like if I drank too much, like, basically too much of not coughing or not breathing or coughing. And so he does the pumpkin raps. A lot better than Pumpkin Rapper did. Man, as he says, he basically sounds like make you feel like or you will not hurt my friend like that. And all for one. Now, now it is time for you to pay with your pumpkin life, or with your villain life, with a pumpkin shock, or shell shock. And so he does like a similar pumpkin thing. Sorry. I just stopped myself, and so it's pumpkin attack thing. Where is that one that... So, I'm trying to find the image of one... So, I'm trying to find... sorry if I went quiet for a minute. So, yeah. So, basically, what I'm trying to find is one where Pumpkin Rapper used on oh, here it is. I think when he did stuff like this to All For One, but at full power. And so then he says, all right, but now it's time for me to finish this, shall we? With a low growl. It is time for you to die, All For One. Now, or should I say put you behind bars, because you're a villain. Or, I know I did some bad raps, but that's okay. But I'm not into rapping, so yeah. So then, what does Shell Shock do? Or Zuku or Shell Rapper do? He actually uses the beam of Red Beam to freeze All For One in place. And he does he pulls out a tape, or not tape, more of a vines, grapevines things. And he spun around All For One faster than as he says, too cool, bro. And then, he wraps All For One like a burrito thing, or like a little Christmas gift as he drops it off at. So then another time skip. So overhaul thing. So then All For One, so I'm skipping the overhaul fight because of time, but but there was a new monster that just appeared, and somehow it was a new monster, not the female ones, but it was Guess who it was? It was none other than... Hold on, that's not it. I'm trying to think. It was none other than... I'm trying to find it. It was... yeah. It was none other than... Runny Sink guy. I was gonna put the, So Rusty Sink or Runny Sink was basically shows up and so Zuko couldn't defeat him because he couldn't lay a hand on him, and he's like, oh, this guy's annoying me. So then so Zuko uses, try to use his red beam, but the guy slips out of his grasp. And so then Water Guy just used full power on Pumpkin Wrapper, and it killed him. But then the Shell Wrapper was killed. But then what came out of Shell Wrapper was none other than a man we known as Zuko Midoriya. I am going to grab I think, split personality, or what if Zuko had the drawing tricks. Oh, there it is. So this is what Zuko looks like without his monstrous form. And when everyone saw his body on him and what he looks like, they all just collapsed. All the girls just had nosebleeds comes out. Including the 3 girls that I said earlier. I think Miss Phone, Miss Phone, Miss Phone or something. Monster. It was... So, I do know there's a... Oh, here it is. So her lipstick and the purse, when they were human, when they saw Zuko's human body, all 3 of them ended up with blood nose comes out of their... Yeah. As they fell. Oh. As they all, trying to argue with each other of who would date him. As he was like, okay. And so if you guys... So, which one would you choose? I'll leave it in a poll of 4. Who would the best person for So we got, I think, I'm trying to remember her name. I thought she was called Miss Cell Phone or Teacher Cell Phone or something. Because I don't remember. Because in the one that says never seen or never before seen Power Rangers monsters, that they go over the line. Yeah. And yeah, so now get back into the story. So Zuko ends up shocks everybody with his look. So then one of the monsters, the monster that shows up, I'm trying to think of what it was. Let's see. Nope, one more. So it was, I believe it was, Sink one. Runny Sink. Let me show you what Runny Sink, this guy on the bottom, this guy right here. He says, you do actually have a human form. Yeah, but it looks like you have to be killed. As Zuko lifts himself up, or he hasn't learned how to use his human body but he could stand up. And he says, as Zuko says, you're trying to hurt my friends, my own family, as his eyes turn rainbow colored, like flames. As the water guy, he says, oh, crud. Well, bam! As the water guy couldn't even react quick enough, as his entire body exploded. And then like that one, or couple episodes of One Punch Man. And you know that one episode where the guy, the lion guy says, or Saitama punched a lion guy and ends up exploding. Well, yeah, that's what that guy did. Yeah. So then when he went home, or he's trying to walk because he doesn't know how to, because he never felt like this before, being human. So they asked him, or they thought he was drunk, first of all, but Nezu, or Mr. Aizawa knows, and so Mr. Aizawa holds him, trying to walk with him, so that as he says, you're a newborn, so it's your first time walking as a human. So, yeah. So, yeah. So then a couple days after that, Zuko is still learning how to, be a human. And because he's been so used to being a monster, because he grew up as he was created in a lab, and he was born as a monster, but he never had this opportunity of being a human for once. So then, of course, off screen, Ochako was with her three friends, or should I say, three monster friends, should I say. So, yeah, and how long has this video been? I forgot. Ooh, yeah. So, yeah. I know that I said 40 or 30, or no, 40 or 50. Yeah, well, it's past that. So, this is a full movie, so, yeah. Usually, you don't see just like, 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. So, basically, this is a full movie. I'm just letting you know. Plus, you read the title, too. So, yeah. So, off screen, Ochako and her friends, the three monster friends, were going down this dark hallway. It was a shortcut to the to Ochako's house, instead of having to walk all the way around. And yeah. But if you have seen the anime canon version, there's always something bad happens to it. So Ochako was like walking as all three girls, or all three, or one of them says, "Hey, Ochako, we have a secret to tell you. I know that we're friends. We've known each other for a long time. But let's show you our real forms." And then the monster, yeah. So she shows her true form, like she transforms into basically her real form. Hers transforms into her form, and phone or Miss Telephone, or whatever her name is, as Ochako is scared, as she's about to run, as most of the movies, like most of the adult movies, there's always the gruesome scenes, but or of someone dying, but the lipstick girl ends up, or first of all, the purse used her lasso thing to grab Ochako from running away, dragging her back into as the yeah. So basically, yeah, as Lipstick uses her power to mind control Ochako, to, basically controlling her, And yeah. So she ends up disappearing as everyone's like wondering where Ochako went. Azuku says, they must have her. As the his cell phone is like, calls Zuku and says, this is what he said to, or no, she says to him, that, if you want to see Ochako, come to these coordinates. And yeah, so then so come alone, and they're like, so he comes alone. So then all three monsters in their human form, and yeah, as the, yeah, so, yeah, Zuko just straight up, says, where's Ochako at? You are worried about her little old Choco, or classmate? Oh, she's safe for now. The I'm giving you two options, as they said, and answer this question, and if you guess it right, we'll let her go. We promised. Without our fingers crossed. Yeah. And then or if you answer it wrong, she dies and you get hint. No one would love you ever again. And so one question that they asked him was, that one question made him embarrassed. Yeah, hold on. He was so embarrassed that even like, they asked him who would he date or who would he get married to out of 4 of them. The Ochako is 1, Lipstick Girl is 2, as Zukuza says, that's all that you wanted to ask me? Yeah. You know you could just ask me before. So then, yeah. And my answer is actually, truth be told, I would rather date all 4 of you. I never actually had a one or the other. As Lip Gloss Girl and the cell phone and purse, and so that were shocked. They would rather, as they chose him too. So Ochako gone free, and so all 4 of them dated Zuko, got married to him, and had a lot of kids. A lot of monsters, kids, and yeah. So, yeah. But these monsters that I'm talking about isn't the isn't a basically a bad guys. They're basically good guys because they have Zuku's kindness. So yeah. So then plus the pro hero or not pro hero, I almost said it. Yeah. Pro hero Sashi, when the government asked him to come in and told him the truth about Zuko, is actually he is the biological son that they created from the lab. Is actually, if you want him, go ahead. We don't need him anymore. So yeah. So Zuko or Sashi asked Zuko, no, and plus, yeah, and before I forgot to mention, before they asked him the what Ochako like got kidnapped thing, and she was strapped to a nuclear bomb. Like one of my old what ifs. Where Zuko was strapped to a nuclear bomb underwater but yeah. So yeah. It was Ochako. So then So when they heard, they let her go after her. So then Zuko, could not believe that her Sashi is his biological father, Inko was his biological mother, and his sister was his beloved. Yeah. So this is the end of the what if. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. And I know that I went over the 50-hour mark, but that's okay because this is a full story, not just like saying, hey, what's up? Boom. 5 minutes. Because this is a full movie, not just a take 5 minutes breaks. So peace out, y'all. Peace.